It's that time of year again. Time for my very early divisional standings predictions. Where will your favorite team finish? I'm also going to give you my bottom feeders, the bottom 10 teams to finish this season. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talk at Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. So, like I said, it's that time of year again. We give our very early standings predictions for the divisions. I'll give you from 1 to 8, all 4 divisions, and we're going to start out with the Metro Division. If you disagree with any of my predictions here, let me know in the comment section what you think will happen, and let's get right into it. So we're going to lead off with the Metro, and finishing from 1 to 8, New York Islanders, number 1. I think the New York Islanders, I don't know that they've gotten any worse than last season. I know I just heard Varlamov is going to be out for a little while. With Sorokin starting, I don't know how long Varlamov will be out, and that could affect the standings for them. But I'm still going to take the Islanders in first here. They don't score a lot, but they've got good defense, and if they get solid goaltending, I think the offense that they do have is enough to keep them in this division in first place. Washington, and I kind of struggled here. I know Alex Ovechkin I heard he just got injured, so it's going to really depend, in my mind, on how Alex Ovechkin does. If he's healthy and if he produces all year. This is an aging team. It's got a young goalie. But it's a bit of an aging team, and I think it's their last hurrah as this group for a shot at the cup here. So I think they can still manage second, but I was really going to put another team here, but I'm going to go Washington to start the season. Carolina. I don't like Carolina. Carolina and Montreal seem to be having a feud, which I'm going to talk about in my weekend update, which is coming out on Sunday. So I don't like Carolina, and you know what? I think their goaltending could end up being a problem for them. I don't think they got necessarily better. I think they took a bit of a step back. They had a star up-and-coming young goalie that they just let go. I think that bites them in the ass. It might not this year, though. I'll give you that. So I'm putting them in third. I don't like them. Is that a good enough reason? Philadelphia. Last year, I had Philadelphia winning this division. Boy, was I wrong. I'm going to be more cautious this year. I think if they can get the goaltending, because I think Carter Hart, it kind of goaltending crapped the bed last year for them. If they can get the goaltending, I think they've got the defense, they've got the offense. They're getting a little older on their leadership, I think, and I still think they're good enough to take fourth spot. I wonder how much of Robin Lehner's accusations against the team and against the coach are going to affect the team this year. So we'll look for that. But I still think they'll take fourth spot. Pittsburgh. I thought, Pittsburgh always seems to manage to get their way into the playoffs and all that. I wonder if their magic's run out. Malkin will be out all season from what I read. They're always suffering injuries. I think maybe even Crosby is a little hurt going into the start of the season. They did not get the goaltending that they were hoping to get last year. So that's going to be a little of a worry right now. I think aging defense. I just think that this is a questionable team. They could make the playoffs, but I think they're going to finish just outside. New York Rangers. That's another team. I had them right up near the top last season, and they totally disappointed me. This year, I don't know. They're kind of mentioned as a leading candidate to get Jack Eichel. If that's the case, and they do it during the season, how does that affect their team till Eichel gets there after his operation and he gets healthy? I don't know. Are they, if none of that happens, are they any better than they were last season, where they basically, I think, finished basically around here in sixth? So New York Rangers, I'm going to be more cautious again on them, and I'm going to have them at sixth. New Jersey Devils, the New Jersey Devils. I think they improved a little bit. Their goaltender, if I'm correct, Blackwood is unvaxxed, and I don't know how much hockey he's going to be able to play, if he's going to be able to play. So goaltending seems to be an issue. PK Subban needs to have a big comeback here. I know he wants to, but can he? So Subban's going to be very important. Jack Hughes, can he establish himself as a star that he's supposed to have been? That's going to be a big season for him. They've got some other good players and all that, but can they put it all together? Don't know. I don't think so. I think they're in 7th. And then the shit show of the division, Columbus Blue Jackets. I don't know what else to call them. I know that now Tortorella's gone. They're a bit of a team in disarray. You got Patrick Laine there. Who plays with him? I know Domi is just coming back from surgery. So hopefully he can have a bounce back year. I just don't know who's there that's going to have a good enough year for them to move up. I know this is a dedicated season to Mattis Kivlenieks, the goalie that was tragically killed in an accident in the summer. How does that affect them? They've got good goaltending in Elvis. Korpisalo's still there, so Elvis and Korpisalo could do the job definitely. But it's a team to me that's kind of in disarray. I don't know what's going on there and where their leadership is now. And I don't know. I think Blue Jack is just a shit show is a good way to put it. Central, first place, Colorado. For me, the big question mark, Colorado, is goaltending, right? Grubauer not there anymore. That guy from Arizona, it's not coming to me. So he gets hurt a lot. So I know that's a problem. Their backup or their other goalie, Francouz is going to be out for a little while. If their starter gets hurt, the goaltending is going to be an issue. Their defense, no problem. Their forward offensive group, no problem. I think goaltending's a problem here. But I think this is still good enough to win this division. Second, Minnesota. I wouldn't have them there if Kaprizov didn't sign. He did sign for a ridiculous amount of money, but he signed. He's going to be there. I think this team with Kaprizov has a shot, to make second. I if you look at the division, I think they're better than maybe not Winnipeg, but I think they're better than the other teams, and I think they're going to be better than Winnipeg because I'm not a big fan of Winnipeg right now. Got Winnipeg at 3. I think a lot of people think that they might finish in second. I'm not giving them that. Don't like Mark Scheifele. And I'm wondering is there any effect from what he did last season to the flack he got for it? Is there going to be, I shouldn't left that up as long, is there going to be any effect from that on the team? I'm giving them third. They have a good goaltender. Their defense can be suspect. I'm going to give them third place. After Winnipeg, you got St. Louis, Dallas, Chicago. Honestly, I think pretty much either of those 3 teams could finish in 4th. I after doing this, I kind of think maybe Chicago might, but I'm going to have St. Louis there. They've had good success. People thought them out of the playoffs last year, but I think they fought their way in. So I think they can do it again and finish in 4th. Dallas, I think goaltending is an issue there. I don't know much else about Dallas since Corey Perry left there, and we got him. And I haven't really, but I know goaltending is a bit of an issue there. I just think that from a gut feeling, they're going to finish in 5th out of the playoffs. Chicago, as I said, all those 3 teams. Chicago, with Marc-Andre Fleury in his final season, apparently, still playing well. If he has a good season there, you got the return of Jonathan Taves. You've got Patrick Kane there. The defense, the backup goalie in Kevin Langford, I had him last year in fantasy. A good backup goalie. Definitely goalie tandem is much better than it was last year. So I think there's a chance that Chicago finishes better, but I've got them there in 6th. Nashville doesn't score a lot. They're usually a defense-strong team. I believe there's some injuries or they lost a player, and they might be a step slower on that end. So I just think that Nashville is a struggling team right now to find the offense. Pekka Rinne retired, so I'm not sure about their backup. I just think there's a lot of question marks with Nashville, and I don't think they finish that high up. Last, Arizona, the shit show of this division. We want you to become a member of Talking Habs. Arizona, where are they going to play after this season? Do they stay where they are? I know they've made it known that they want to go to Tempe, Arizona. Is there a rink there? How long does it take them to get a rink there? They are a team in a rebuild, making trades to get draft picks coming back. Apparently, Phil Kessel not in their plans going forward, and they just signed Alex Galchenyuk for the second time. I don't know. I think this is a shit show. They don't do very well at all, and you're going to see them in last there, and probably struggling to stay out of the last place in the overall in the overall standings as well. Pacific, number 1 in yellow, as close as I can get to gold. Vegas. In this division, I think Vegas is the best team in this division. My only worry is Robin Lehner for them and goaltending. They decided to keep Lehner. They traded Fleury away, and did they make the right decision? Maybe not. We'll see, because the controversy with Lehner, as you must all know. I'm not going to go into it here. So I still think if they get the goaltending, that Vegas is the best team in this division. Edmonton. And it's the same thing. If Edmonton can get some goaltending, I think, it's basically Draisaitl and McDavid. Build a team around them. Put some decent players around them. I don't know how that can't happen, and get some goaltending. And they could win this division even. So I think they come in second. After that, I don't know. I've got Vancouver there. It could be Los Angeles. Could be Calgary. Those three could finish in any form. I've got it Vancouver. Why? They've got Pettersson. I think they've got good goaltending. I think they're decent defense. Some really good offensive players as well. Besser, Horvat. I mean, they got some good players there. I think they're probably the better team in that of those three. So I've got them in third. LA. I got LA in fourth, making the playoffs. All because of Phil Deneau. Phil Deneau, he's going to get so many goals and be so great. It's not happening that way. But I think that's a team that I thought would make the playoffs last year, and they didn't. But I still think it's an up-and-coming team. They got some good young players there. Can they put it together? Some of these young guys, if they do, and they get the goaltending, then I think LA, I think they make the playoffs, and they're in fourth. And then there's Calgary in fifth. Calgary, another shit show, I think. They didn't really improve their team in the offseason. There seems to be a lot of bad feeling there between management and players. I don't know how to describe it. I just think it's a shit show. They missed the playoffs last year. I think they're going to miss the playoffs again this year. Anaheim, number 6. Anaheim, I believe they said they're in a rebuild, so I don't expect there much from them. I think if you got Anaheim, Seattle, San Jose, they could switch around and finish in any order you want, and I wouldn't be surprised. I got Seattle there at number 7 because I think that's their plan, is to build through the draft and finish. They probably expect to be able to get some good draft picks in the next 2-3 years, and I think that's how they're going to build that way. Keep costs down. I don't know. I don't know what other explanation is for the team that they have. They've got good goaltending. After that, I don't know if they've got enough to finish higher than 7th here. And that leaves San Jose. Another shit show. Aging defense with Carlson, $11.5 million. Yikes. Brent Burns starting to obviously show his age. So you've got an aging defense there. Martin Jones has left. I'm not sure who's in nets. I just think this is a team that is going to struggle to finish out of the basement and probably finish right there in the basement. Atlantic Division. The division Montreal is in. Yay, the Atlantic Division. Okay, so I'm going to go through this one team at a time. So we're going to go from number 1 down to number 8. First team in the division, I think almost everybody's got it. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I don't know that they lost some good players. Cizikas, Blake Coleman.
They lost some good players. Did they make up for it? Are the Yanni Gord, by the way, also the players that have replaced them, if they're good enough, because they weren't star players they lost, but if these guys can play to the level that the other guys, they haven't really lost much. Stamkos is supposed to be fully healthy. If Kucherov is, Victor Hedman is your number one D. Sergachev playing well, and you got the best goalie in the league in Vasilevsky. And I don't see how they're not maybe the number one team in the league, and definitely number one team in this division. I think it's going to be Florida. They're trending that way. I think goaltending is going to be the key issue. I know that Keith Yandel is gone. Their defense is good. Their offense, they just signed Barkov to a long-term deal. You got Huberdeau. You got some good players all over the board if they can get the goaltending. I think that's the main thing. They've got, what's his name there? Spencer Knight. He's the young kid coming in. And then you've got Sergei Bobrovsky. And can he play better than last year, the last two seasons, or not? And how well can Spencer Knight make up for that? So if that happens, then easily second. And they might struggle to be the second place team, but I still think they're the second place team. Toronto Maple Leafs, I give them the third place finish, but I think they struggle to get there. I don't think they're as good as their fans think. I don't think Matthews is going to have, like they say, well, we got 44 goals in 56 games last year. He's going to have 800 goals this year. Yeah, I don't think so. I think he might struggle to make 40, considering the wrist injury, whether it is fully healthy and it doesn't bother him in the offseason because, he likes to do that a lot. So if that, and I have no proof of this, but that's my assumption. So if that continues, can he score 40 goals? I don't know. We'll find out. I still think they embrace a losing culture. Look at the documentary. They embrace that. To me, that's embracing a losing culture, and that's going to catch up to you. And the embarrassing loss in the playoffs last year, and I think that adds up to a struggling team, struggling for their confidence, and I don't know, just struggling. Am I biased? Maybe a little bit. Fourth place finish, Boston. I wasn't going to have Boston finishing in the playoffs. With the news about Carey Price, unknown whether he'll be back during the season at all, how early, if he does come back, we don't know any of that. I think that makes a huge difference. And I think Boston falls down into fourth place. And Montreal, I don't know if they have enough to catch up or keep in there in the top four at this point until we see them play and how they're affected by everything. I don't know. So I've got them there reluctantly. Two teams I don't like, my two least favorite teams. I have to have them over. Montreal in fifth. Montreal, I think Montreal can still be in fifth place. I just don't think that they're going to be able to. If this is what, how it turns out that Price does not come back or does not come back early enough, I think that it's going to be a really big problem. I don't know what they do for the goaltending. Jake Allen kind of isn't who you want to be your number one goalie for a whole season. For short periods, like if Price missed only a month, sure, that's fine. But after that, I don't know. And the backup in Montembeault, we don't know. He's still young. He's only played, 25, 26 games in his career. So it's still an unknown, and that's going to be the key issue there. And the defense, is the defense going to be good enough? And how they're going to pair them up for me. To me, that's a big question. I think their offense is better, and I don't know if that's the question there, but the rest of it, yeah. I think Detroit finishes in sixth, not Ottawa. I think Detroit finishes in sixth. I think Ottawa, being a bit of a shit show again as well, I think Detroit's got good leadership up on top from Steve Yzerman. He seems to know what he wants. His vision in his own mind is clear. He goes out and gets the players he wants to keep improving slowly. I'm not saying they're fully improved, but I think they're better, and they're going to finish on top of the bottom teams in this division. Ottawa. And mainly the reason is the Brady Tkachuk not being signed. And how long is he going to sit out? The longer Brady Tkachuk sits out, the less likely that Ottawa has a chance to challenge for anything above seventh. That's it. Buffalo Sabres. I think the Buffalo Sabres, the shit show, dumpster fire, and any other euphemism you want to say to describe Buffalo Sabres. They should definitely be the worst team in the league. And by just saying that, well, they're obviously going to be the worst team in this division. So now we come to the bottom feeders, the bottom 10 teams from 23rd place to 32nd. And it's the first time that I'm giving anything on 32nd place, I think. So this will be the first. Number 23, Detroit. Why? Because I think Detroit's the best of the bad bunch that's down there, mostly because of Steve Yzerman. Just his leadership and his vision, I think, will keep this team for right now as the best of this bad bunch. Nashville. Why? Don't really have a reason. I think Nashville is not, I just have a gut feeling they're not going to have a great season, and I have them down here in 24th because that's where I have them. Not a great reason. I get it. Number 25, New Jersey. New Jersey, while I think they've gotten a little bit better, I think they're really counting on Subban to have a comeback season, on Jack Hughes to start establishing himself and start to put up some of the numbers that they would have expected from him. It's his third season, I think. So you got to expect Jack Hughes needs to start showing that elite offense. Goaltending, I still think with Blackwood not being vaxxed, and correct me if I'm wrong on that, I think that creates a problem there. So, yeah, I think New Jersey in 25th. 26th, Ottawa. I have Ottawa there. I think they could easily fall farther down if Brady Tkachuk sits out for a long period of time. And I remember he has to sign by, I believe, December, sometime in December, or then he has to wait till the next season, I think. If he's not signed by sometime in December, he's not coming back for a while. So, Brady Tkachuk sits out. They could finish worse, but I got them in 26. 27, Anaheim. Anaheim was saying that they're rebuilding. Not a great team going into the rebuild, so I don't expect them to finish very high up, and that's where I've got them finishing. Number 28, Columbus Blue Jackets. Yeah, Blue Jackets are kind of in disarray. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's good that Tortorella's not there if you're going to keep Laine. Make him happy. Laine looks good from the highlights I've seen, but I don't know who's playing with him. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks there. So Seattle in 29th. Yeah, like I said, I think Seattle, from the way it looks, I don't think they were planning to be doing the Vegas thing and repeating and being challenging for a playoff spot and a cup and all that. I don't think so. I think they're going to build through the draft, and that's what it looks like to me. Let me know what you think. 30, San Jose. San Jose, because they're San Jose, and they just haven't gotten better, and you got your aging defense. I just think they're regretting signing. I had the name the other, and now I can't come up with the name. So regret signing that very expensive defenseman from Ottawa. Hey, listen, I said it earlier. Just because it left my head, it's not my fault. Goaltending's an issue there. There's so many issues there. It's a bit of a dumpster fire. Let's see what happens. And then the last two, Arizona and Buffalo. Do I really think Buffalo could actually finish ahead of any of these teams? I don't. Would it absolutely shock me if Arizona fell behind? No, but I think Buffalo is in such bad shape and just such disarray that I don't think anybody falls below them. And then Arizona is just a little bit ahead of them. So there you go. There's my bottom 10 to finish in the NHL. There's how I figure the teams will finish in their divisions. It's very early. I don't know how right I'll be, and probably I won't be. We'll have to check at the end of the season to see how right I am. So let me know what you think in the comment section. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace out. They're going to be playing. Damn it. I got to find out where that's not saying. Why am I thinking St. Petersburg? It's not. Glendale? Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, check out that video over there.